Plaid Horse Ambassador Lainey Rubin, and I'm here at Zone 4 Finals in Pensacola, Florida. Let's go meet some of the riders. I'm here with my friend Kate Robinson. She goes to Hammond School and she's on the Hammond Hunt Seat equestrian team. So how long have you been doing IEA?
I've been doing the IEA since 6th grade, so that is 7 seasons total.
And what's your favorite thing about it?
My favorite thing about the IEA is that I get to represent my school on so many different levels, and I've also got to get closer with a lot of girls at my school that I wouldn't have known otherwise.
For some people who don't know what IEA is, like what's different about it than regular shows?
It's a lot different. For my school, we don't bring our own horses, so we get to ride horses that we've never even seen before, which is really helpful in shaping how you ride as a rider. So you get to catch ride all these different horses and learn so many different skills, and you get to meet so many different people that you don't show against in like the normal circuits in your hometown, and it's just a great different type of program that I've been able to do throughout my high school.
For an IEA show, and is it any different than regular shows?
Preparing for an IEA show is a lot different from regular shows. You're not going to ride your own horse that you've been riding at home. You're riding a completely different horse that you've never seen before, and you take your own skills from what you've learned in the past and you apply it to the horse that you're riding. And if you do your best and you are confident in yourself, then you will have the best outcome.
I'm Terry Easterlin with the Plaid Horse magazine, and I'm going to be interviewing our guest judges today.
Hi, I'm Bill Talbert. I'm from Ocala, Florida.
And I'm Kirsten Murphy from Vandiver, Alabama.
Thank you for being on this today.
Thank you.
How is judging an IEA competition different from judging at regular shows? How do the skills an IEA rider requires translate to a regular format show?
Well, in IEA judging, you have to draw horses, so you're not walking into the ring with a known quantity. So you're judging just the riders, means you get to overlook certain foibles that the horses have if they're very difficult to do. So it really focuses your attention on the rider's position and on how they ride a track and on how they deal with different problems that come up with an animal you don't know at all.
I agree. I think seeing the determination of the rider and the power that the rider has to take all of the factors into consideration and then put out a winning performance, it's one of the most exciting things about this.
Absolutely. And anytime you can come into a ring cold and ride a different variety of horses, it makes you a better rider, the more you can do that.
And as riders, we know that when we get on strange horses and we have that synchronicity and it happens for us right away, there's probably no stronger feeling that a person can have. So as we see riders doing well and having a good time, and that's the exciting part.
Absolutely.
Bling or no bling in the equitation ring?
Please no.
Yeah, no, that would be a no. Tradition. Tradition.
Tradition. We like conservative. We like it makes the job easier for us if the riders look more alike, and then we get to judge the angles and the performance rather than being distracted by any accoutrements that the rider may think is a good idea.
Yeah, it's very distracting, and it's not, equitation is not about individual expression.
How much does the expense or not of a rider's attire affect how you judge them in a class?
It doesn't affect it at all. The attire needs to be appropriate, neat, tidy, clean boots, so important, well-fitting as possible. But I couldn't tell you from where I'm sitting how much a jacket costs to save my life. It's a navy blue jacket, it canters by, it fits well, then I'm really pleased with it. I don't look at what helmet anybody's wearing. Again, neat, tidy, clean, well-polished boots, if I may say that again.
And I agree that the turnout and the cleanliness is the most important part, and the fitting as well. You want the clothing to fit in a way that shows off the rider's best abilities and doesn't distract or hinder the performance in any way. And I agree with Kirsten that it is very important that the cleanliness of the boots and the turnout and the focus and with the hair and less makeup, again, trying not to stand out. And I don't notice any of the labels either. In fact, I think some of the labels that the more expensive are putting out there are a bit distracting.
What is your best advice for a junior rider hoping to one day show in a Big Ed class?
I think the biggest thing that I don't see a lot of junior riders doing is going to the ring and watching and seeing all of the elements in factor. It's one thing to watch it on a video at home or to replay a good ride, and you do pick up a little bit from there, but I think being in the sights and the sounds and watching the good riders. You can remember the days when the whole show would shut down for the Grand Prix because everybody wanted to go watch. But now in today's world, there's 6 or 7 other rings going on at some of the major shows. So I think watching and being seen watching by other professionals and getting involved in the business at the gate and taking a job if you can to work with good horses. It's certainly how I was able to get some exposure, and working hard and just not giving up.
Absolutely. I would second going to the ring, especially the schooling ring. You can, for free, get some of the best advice ever. Watching people who win and who are good at what they do in the schooling ring. Watching how they set up their horses, watching their routine, watching what they do when they school the jumps. And then yes, absolutely, be willing to take jobs, paid or not, where you get to ride a lot of horses, but they won't be fancy horses. You don't just get to go to the Grand Prix ring.
No,
you have to
don't.
ride green horses, you have to set up older horses, and if you're willing to do that, watch how people, lunge their horses or not. Watch how they, get them turned out for the ring. And that kind of knowledge you can't buy, and you can't get it out of a book. And if you have that practical knowledge, people are far more willing to give you rides when you hit the show and you want to get into the show ring.
Yes, 319. Is one on both? Oh, 50.
40.
And showdown, please, as the Working Trot Rising. Working Trot Rising. Up to the canter now, please. Future ready, go canter. The sitting trot now, please. Show it the sitting trot. While the ring at the sitting trot.
trainer and coach Nancy Ungerfeld, and I'm going to ask her a few questions. How long have you been doing IEA?
Almost a decade, forever.
And why do you keep doing it, and what made you do it in the first place?
I started IEA when my daughter was in high school because riding's an individual sport. When I heard about the team thing, I think it's kind of cool to make something an individual sport a team thing, and we are really a team. Everybody knows the Crazy Purple team, and it's just fun. It's all my kids that rode with me the past like 8 or 9 years all went to college and rode on their teams and was officers on their team. I think it changes everything about riding. It also gives kids that can't really afford to do the row horse shows a chance to show. Because financially it's way better than row horse shows. So.
Thank you. And one last question. What are some skills that you've taught that can translate to other things?
Good question. I think that IEA is a very humbling sport. I think, number one, it's luck of the draw. Sometimes you might draw something that doesn't have a lead change, or doesn't have a lead, or doesn't jump, or whatever. And I think you have to make the best of the scenario. And I think that it really teaches, in order to be a good winner, you've got to be a good loser. And it's way different than real horse shows. It's pretty hard to sit on something you've never sat on and go in and be perfect. Because then when you have nerves interact with it, the skill level, it's like, you know, I don't know. I just think it teaches amazing skills for kids and friendships that last forever. And an example is a lot of my kids went off to different colleges, and I used to coach one of the college teams, and all my kids, even though they were at different colleges, all stayed best friends all through college. So they'd be rooting for the other college team. You know, they would root for each other even though they weren't on the same team anymore. I just think it creates just friendships that last forever. And the love of horses, what better can you have than hang out with friends that love horses also?
I'm here with Coach Mary Mac Dunbar, who is the IEA coach at Motlow Creek Equestrian Center. I'm going to ask her a few questions. How long have you been doing IEA?
I've been doing the IEA team for 3 years.
And what's your favorite thing about it?
The team, having teamwork, because in the equestrian field, everyone usually rides just for themselves. So the IEA promotes that team, and I think that's very needed.
And what do you think the biggest challenges are in IEA?
Probably one of the biggest challenges we find in our area is finding the quality horses that can meet up with the riders that we have. So all of the horses come from school programs, and we have to up our game in the IEA to make it as competitive as these kids need in the show world.
What do you think the top 2 benefits of doing IEA are?
Probably the biggest benefit is to learn to go to the ring and support everyone in your barn. So I think they learn to just not just go to get ribbons for themselves, but to always be there to support everyone in their barn. And maybe the second benefit is learning how important equitation is to riding. It is everything. It is the base of the sport.
Nina Oscaroons from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And why do you do IEA?
I do IEA because I take every chance and every opportunity I can to get on a horse and ride and just try my best.
Caroline Hedges, and she just beat me, but I still like her. So let's interview her. What's your favorite thing about IEA?
Probably the chance to be a part of a team, because riding is such an individual sport, and showing, I don't really get the opportunity to show with my friends, so this is a great way to show with my friends.